Hi everyone, I just wanted to make a little video to talk to you guys about planting food. My mind is going ahead to springtime and thinking about what kinds of things do I already have on hand that I can plant in order to make more food, in order to be self-sufficient, just in case we need to be. So I wanted to show you a couple of examples. Last week I planted a potato. So this is a chocolate container from Christmas. This is a potato that I actually bought around Christmas time, and it was getting eyes growing on it already. So I went ahead, I put some starter soil in this container. I put the potato right in there, and it is growing some roots, which you can see along here in just a week's time. So after the ground has thawed, I'm going to go ahead and put this potato in the garden along with one other that I had, and it will actually grow more potatoes. So if you have a potato, you put it in the ground, it will make more potatoes for you. So it's a great way to grow your own food. You will be able to harvest the potatoes shortly after it blooms. So it's going to make a green leafy plant on top. It's going to make the new potatoes down below your first potato. After little blooms come up, little white flowers, after they fade away and the leaves start to look a little droopy, that's when it's going to be time to reach into the ground and pull up your new potatoes. Something else that should be easy for most of us to do is carrots. So when you're chopping your carrots and you are going to throw out your waste, you've cut off the top, maybe you skin it, maybe you don't, but I've saved the top of this carrot and put it in a little water, and it's actually growing after 3 or 4 days. I've got some green sprouts coming up. Now a carrot is not going to grow a new carrot, but a carrot will grow green sprouts on top, which are edible like parsley would be. And also they would go to seed, which then you can, after it blooms, little tiny blooms, it'll go to seed, and then you can plant those seeds in the garden next year. So you can make the next generation of carrots. Something else I did was I have some green onions, and I just went ahead and put them in dirt. You could put your green onions just in some water, and they will continue to make new sprouts like these ones here, these little ones. They'll continue to sprout so that you can use them as garnish. It's not going to grow more onions on the bottom. You're not going to multiply these by doing this, but you will keep what you have and each one sprouting so that you have fresh garnish or green onions to use in your food. When food gets boring, a little bit of garnish goes a long way. And a couple of other things I'm going to experiment with. So I have some buckwheat here. So I did a little research and I found out that buckwheat is actually really easy to grow. This is just from my freezer. I kept it in the freezer so it wouldn't go rancid, just for the purposes of eating it. But you can, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to experiment and see if I can plant these grains, because they should be relatively easy to grow. So that's an experiment from my cupboard that I'm going to try. Another one is some rice. So I have this black rice that I'm going to see if I can grow as well. So I'm just going to take some of the little grains of rice here. They are very dark black, purple, brown rice. I'm going to plant these up and see if I can get those to grow as well. I'm going to do a little more research, but I'm guessing that they're going to like a moist spot in the garden, which I definitely have some moist spots in the garden. So I'm going to try to do an experiment with my buckwheat and my rice to see if I can grow it myself. But when I was at the grocery store today, I did pick up some Romano beans. So I know that these are very easy to grow, and I have in the past grown them from the grocery store packages. So beans are so nutritious. They have protein, they have fiber, they have carbohydrates. With a little bit of rice, you've got a complete protein when you eat beans and rice. So I'm going to plant some of these. I'm very confident that these will grow no problem. They're super easy to grow. You just need a fence or a trellis for them to grow up, and you will be able to make your own food using beans straight from the grocery store. So I can eat most of these, but I'll plant some of them too for the future. And something else I just want to touch on too, talk about briefly is flowers. So I had already planned my flower garden, and I have all my seeds for my flowers, but I just wanted to point out these two. So sunflowers and nasturtiums, these are both edible flowers. So you get a double with these ones. They're both direct sow, so don't start them too early because they'll grow very quickly, and they like to be outside in the full sun rather than inside starting as a little sprout. You can maybe plant one or two to get an early start, but don't plant them until April or May, early May inside, so that they are close to being ready to go outside as soon as they've got a little bit of green growth on them. So that is all I wanted to share with you guys, because I know I'm thinking ahead to make sure we have a sustainable way of living here, and just make sure maybe you pick some things that you do eat all the time, so that you have something available that your family will eat from the garden. Oh, one more thing to add. The other thing from the grocery store today, I did go ahead and scan the seed rack just at the grocery store. I grabbed some carrot seeds, so I'm going to try growing carrots for the first time, because we love carrots. They're easy to prepare, easy to eat. You can eat them raw, you can eat them cooked. Delicious. And then radishes. Grab some radishes too, because they are easy to eat or easy to grow, and that's one of the things my husband likes to eat too. So we got those. So looking at what I've got going on here, we're gonna have some carrots, radishes, potatoes, onions, and beans, as well as the edible nasturtiums and sunflowers. So that's what I've got going on, planned for planting food for spring. Thanks.